Hello, welcome back to another video, and today, as you can see, I'm doing cryptids, a cryptid tier list. So let's get into it. Let's start off from poor. It's the Jersey Devil and the Yamakasi. Let's start off with the Jersey Devil. The Jersey Devil originated with a Pine Barrows resident named Jane Leeds, known as Mother Leeds. The legend states that Mother Leeds had 12 children, and when she found out she was pregnant with a 13th child, she cursed the child in frustration and crying that the child would be the devil. In 1735, she gave birth to the baby, which started off being a normal child, and then it eventually just grew up and changed to a creature with hooves, a goat's head, bat wings, and a forked tail that growled and screamed pretty much like a goat, pretty much. It then flew up into the chimney and headed into the pines, never to be seen again. But there are many versions of this tale. I don't think this cryptid exists, and that's why it's in the poor tier, because it does something about it screams fake to me. Moving on to the second one, the Yamakasi. It's a giant snake that lives in the Mount Tsurugi in Japan. I'm gonna butcher that name. I'm sorry about that. Even though it's rare, feared pretty much. The villagers often bring weapons to protect themselves, I guess. Hikers and campers have apparently seen this legendary snake, and apparently on May the 26th, 1973, a worker saw a giant black snake with a white stomach. It claimed that the snake was more than 10 meters long, and after this report, many people reported seeing a snake similar to the one that this guy said the villager saw on May the 26th, 1973. What do you guys think about it? Moving on to the OK tier, I've put the Bigfoot. Now, I believe in the Bigfoot, don't get me wrong, I do believe in it, but the reason why it's in the OK tier is because I think this whole Bigfoot phenomenon is now overdone, and I don't know, the vast amounts of evidence that has been in favour of Bigfoot has either been throughout or hasn't been debunked, and still waiting results. But there's been so many audio recordings, visual sightings, and cast of large footprints. I don't know, I mean, I'm a big believer in it, and he apparently inhabits the forests in North America, and it's been a massive part of American folklore since the early 1960s. I think so. The Patterson and Gimlin footage is a big piece of Bigfoot evidence, and hasn't been completely debunked, which is really interesting. But for now, it stays into a tier okay. Now, the guy next to the Bigfoot is called the Honey Island Monster, also known as the Cajun Sasquatch. It inhabits the Honey Island swamp in Louisiana and has become a big part of Louisiana folklore, with many swamp tour companies in the area capitalizing on its existence, but many are critical about this existence. Like, for example, this local tour guide called Paul Wagner with his wife Sue run a nature tour in the area, and they haven't seen anything or heard anything major that can give 100% proof that this monster exists. But for now, I'm just saying I'm skeptical. I don't really believe in it. What do you guys think? It's described as being 7 feet tall, having yellow or red eyes, and having a rather offensive odour. Now we're getting into the real good stuff. Starting with the Mothman. Now, this creature has been reported in Point Pleasant. The very first time people ever spoke about Mothman was on November the 16th, 1966, titled "Couples See Man-Sized Bird, Creature, Something." The national press soon picked up on the reports and even the sightings and helped spread the story across the United States, and it spread like wildfire. Just read up about it, it's interesting. They're described as being a large flying man with 10-foot wings, following their car while they were driving in an area outside the town known as the TNT area, the site of a former World War II munitions plant. I recommend you to go read up about the Mothman. It makes a really interesting read, trust me. The Owlman. Now, this is pretty much the English version of the Mothman. The Mothman is from America. The Owlman is from Cornwall. It stemmed back on the 17th of April 1976 when two young girls identified as June and Vicky Mellin were frightened by the sight of a large feathered birdman that their father Don immediately. Father decided to stop the holiday and head back home, and the daughters drew a picture, pretty much a sketch of the creature, which the girls dubbed Owlman. And the Owlman was reported again on the 3rd of July by two 14-year-old girls identified as Sally Chapman and Barbara Perry, who were aware of the Owlman tale. They were aware of the tale, and according to the story, the two girls were camping when they were confronted by a big owl with pointed ears, as big as a man, with glowing eyes and black pencil-like claws. Now, I don't know about that. I don't know. Maybe he does exist, maybe he doesn't, but I don't know. I don't really believe it. What do you think? We're almost done. Onto the Kraken. Into the autumn tier. Kraken. This is a legendary sea monster said to dwell off the coast of Scandinavia like Norway, Finland, Sweden, and even Greenland. In 2012, scientists discovered a giant squid that apparently corresponded to the physical description of the legendary Kraken. Using deep-sea exploration with special lighting displays designed to attract large predators, the amazing size and fearsome appearance attributed to the Kraken have made it a common ocean-dwelling monster and something out of a horror movie. The biggest giant squid on record is 59 feet long, but apparently they can go up to 43 to 100 feet long in length, including the tentacles. Now, this is just terrifying. Imagine being in the ocean and a giant squid, a 59-foot squid, swimming next to you. Oh my god, imagine that. It's definitely something you don't want to see when you're like snorkeling in the ocean. Now, on to the last two. The Rake. Now, now I'm biased because this is the creature that pretty much got me onto the cryptids, onto cryptozoology. It's not my favourite, but it is one of my favourites. It's a creature that is believed to be a humanoid in appearance, with several references in folklore and horrific urban legends, mostly on the internet as a creepypasta. It attacks humans for unknown reasons and often causes its victims to have great psychological trauma, and it messes up their mental health. It's identified as the Rake by name. That the first account that was written by the Rake was in 1691 when it gave the Rake its name. The next one was in the 1800s, describing the Rake as having hollow black eyes and being terrified in nature. In 1964, a suicide note was written in which the author claims to have committed suicide due to repeated encounters with the Rake and the fear that the creature will torment him horribly. Now, on to the last one, the Bloop. The Bloop was a powerful ultra-low frequency underwater sound of an uncertain origin, which was detected by the National Ocean and Atmospheric Administration in 1997 in the South Pacific. According to earlier speculations about the sound would have apparently been of something very large and still probably undiscovered. Maybe it was a marine animal that we have no idea about, but which will also be named the Bloop after the sound. It has to. It has been speculated, however, by many scientists of being an underwater volcano, an ice sheet breaking off and dragging along the sea floor. But many people believe it was something of an undiscovered marine animal that is just lurking in the bottom of the ocean, and that could be impossible. I mean, 5% of the world's oceans is undiscovered, is yet to be explored. 95% of the world's oceans are yet to be explored. And I don't think we will ever reach 100% completion of the seafloor or even the world's oceans. It's just an impossible task. But other scientists have pointed out that not all animals can make the same amount of noise for their size. For example, a creature such as the pistol shrimp, which is only a few centimetres long, can make a sound as loud as a jet engine. Here is the Bloop audio recording. Check it out.